Spiritual Principles. Rabbi Michael-ben-Pesach, Portnaar. The 11th spiritual principle. There is no forcing in the spiritual. When does the spiritual give in to a person? Spiritual begins to give only when you agree and stop trying to oppose the highest wisdom, and instead allow it to break your bodily desires, material desires. Nothing will be lost by the person. Instead, a person will gain, but he's afraid to break his body. Body is what he feels, and that which gives him natural pleasure. This is how he himself feels, as if his human is the body. And therefore, he himself is standing in front, blocking his own happiness and his own completion. This is the whole fear of the spiritual, the whole fear of the Kabbalah. It was and is precisely this. This is why it was hidden. They hid it, because if a human wants only our world, he does not want to allow the higher to break his body, meaning his desire to receive only for himself. Then Kabbalah will not benefit him. He will get confused by it. When a person does not want to allow the highest wisdom to break his desire to receive for himself the body, he sees and perceives everything only through the framework of the imaginative, the material sensations of this world. He feels everything only through his body, and then he cannot see and feel the spiritual. The whole point is that the spiritual begins little by little to gradually develop and make notches in certain places within a person where neither time nor movement nor anything else that is material, including gravitational forces, have effect there. But we must agree to this. We must develop and build some courage. It means breaking your body. What you have, a wife, a business, work, children, it remains. But there is something that requires you to break your body. Only then can one see the light. And the desire, of course, is necessary, as without it, it is impossible. Because in order to break the body, you need such a desire, a strong desire. And no one but you can do it. From above, nothing is broken within you unless there is a strong desire, as there is no forcing in the spiritual development. And you should agree, not because you'll be given something back in return from above, but because you see that it is kaha, it is true. It will make things better. Then there will be no suffering. So you shouldn't ask for anything in return, and then everything will come. Suffering will certainly also come, because without suffering it is impossible to grow. But this is suffering of love. Torah is fire. There is no other way to go to the higher, to the truth, to the light, other than through the fire of love. Therefore, individuals always come to Kabbalah, and there cannot be hundreds and thousands in Kabbalah, always individuals, just like those who climbed the highest peaks of the mountains. We are taught that Malchut of the world of infinity, Ein Sof, reduced its desire to receive, which is in it, as she broke her desire to receive for herself. There is nothing else. We simply imitate the higher. She reduced herself, and so should we. And when we say we break ourselves, that is, we break the body, we're talking about the desire to receive, but we still have the place. By breaking our body, we turn the desire to receive into the desire for bestowal. And only this gives us life and movement in the spiritual, higher advancement in all respects. Light depends on desire, and desire is a place, the kli. There's no light without the kli. Make a place and receive the light, for there is no forcing in the spiritual. As the whole task, all that Yeshua wanted to show to us is that through our own thinning of our desire to receive inside of oneself, in your own kilim, through your actions, a person acquires the power of the liberator, and this contributes to the coming of the Savior for all other people in our world. This is the love that I advise you, the innermost, the most profound love, the feeling of love that is in you. Yes, all this here in this part, like the comparison I gave above. And if you give it 100% kavanah, then what does 100% kavanah mean? That there will be nothing, no one else inside, at the very root of yourself, your soul, someone or something that you love more than what you learn here. From here, we study the root of all the roots of the liberator. Nothing else can bring you and me to the release from the oppression of the klipot, neither here nor in the future world. And it is in this world of ours, in the dirtiest and coarsest of all worlds, in the most merciless of all worlds, that the force of liberation must be pulled down to it, and then it will set you free. In the midst of all this filth, all this debauchery, theft, murder, violence, you will find true serenity. Not promises of serenity, and not promises of the world to come, that you will get something there. And here, the Creator wants us to rise to the highlight by thinning our own desires to receive, not through our coarse aviyut placed in the klipot, so that we do not drag holiness downwards with the desire to receive for ourselves, but instead by lifting, thinning ourselves, merging with the highest source of our freedom, the highlight. And not to stay there, not to be there at the top, but to attract all that is good from above, here to our world. This is the whole task. We are not learning about the higher worlds for the sake of the higher worlds. For us, attracting the highlight from the higher worlds is the whole point of studying. Atik, and even Partsofim of Adam Kadmon and other worlds, not to go up there and stay there, God forbid. This is not what the Creator wants. All the universe, all the higher worlds are sanctified by us only, the poor. After all, Malchut is poor. With awe for our Creator, we thin ourselves, make ourselves poor. The poor himself cannot do anything. He has nothing of his own. Thereby, we associate ourselves with this, the princess, Malchut de Atzilut. And how can we associate ourselves with this princess? How can a poor young man who is head over heels, madly in love with this princess, be able to reach her? Only by thinning himself.